Time now for Arts This Week, your weekly download of all things arts and culture in and around town. Speakeasy Stage Company launches its season in a small Wyoming town. That's where the new play Heroes of the Fourth Turning is set. It's 2017, only a week since the violent and deadly riots in Charlottesville put the nation on edge. It is in this charged atmosphere where four young Catholic conservatives reunite at their alma mater. Late into the night, after some of them have been drinking, they hash out their conservative ideology. Can they be both pro-life and empathetic to abortion providers? Is there space to respect the LGBTQ community? Basically, where did they sit in what they see as a country increasingly dominated by liberal thought? At the extreme end, one of the Trump-supporting, Steve Bannon idea-spewing characters argues, it's enough to brace for a coming war, culture, or perhaps worse. The play is written by Will Arbery and was a 2020 Pulitzer Prize finalist for drama. Now in his 30s, Arbery grew up mostly in Texas in a conservative Catholic family. So this is an inside look at conservatism from a playwright raised on it. He's created a work that's nuanced, insightful, and prone to provocation. But it's also a heavily talky play with more discourse than narrative structure. Like tuning into Fox News chatter, not on air, but in the green room, where things might be even more unscripted and unguarded. Even so, it's valuable for the 2-hour deep dive into conservative DNA, arguably that which half the country is built on, but which rarely gets space in the American theater. The Kennedy Greenway features one of the biggest canvases in Boston. Every year, the exterior of a building there is turned over to a different artist. Now, for the first time, the artist is a Bostonian. He is Rob Pro Black Gibbs, Boston's man of murals, as I've taken to calling him, who is authoring the city with his giant depictions of positivity throughout the Dorchester and Roxbury neighborhoods. The Greenway mural is no exception. Here we find a young girl crouched in front of a boombox. There's a vibrant green lawn beneath her feet, bright yellow sun shining overhead. As a kid from the 80s, Rob told me the boombox was a source of the Saturday soundtrack, and how news and stories were amplified. But returning to that positivity I just mentioned, the girl we see on the mural is his daughter, Bobby. She's staring out at a city that could be hers, and to me, that's the most charming and resonant element of the mural. As Rob also told me, his 4-year-old daughter is now so used to her father's work and seeing herself living large, she just assumes that's the way life is supposed to be, as it should be. B Simpson, an artist whose work ranges from ceramic sculpture to performance to automotive design, has a new solo show at the Institute of Contemporary Art, Boston. It features 11 of her large ceramic sculptures, populating one very dramatically lit gallery. Stepping into the space, we find Simpson's figures in all manner of psychological and emotional states. Simpson's work is rooted in her own experiences as a Native American woman coming of age in a country which is ripe, she has said, with objectification and stereotyping, where an inordinate number of Indigenous women have been murdered or gone missing, where Indigenous children had their cultures erased from them. The figures we find are manifestations of all that. They are stoic, staring straight out into the world, often with an aesthetic Simpson intends to appear post-apocalyptic. All in clay, the works literally bear Simpson's fingerprints, and together they tell a story with an emotion and tone that is likely to stay with you for a very long time. If you walk along the Boston Harbor Walk and into the Charlestown Navy Yard, you'll encounter 20 sculptures, and they will stop you in your tracks. Because that's exactly what local artist Michael Alfano wants you to do. It's titled Of Many Minds, and Alfano is challenging us to think in a different mindset. These sculptures are paired with quotes from an array of activists, thinkers, and scientists. People like Amanda Gorman, Albert Einstein, and Martin Luther King Jr. The sculptures are visual, intellectual, and soulful prompts to consider our place in the world alongside each other. His work titled Blown features a face stoically confronting headwinds. It's accompanied by this quote from Jesse Jackson: "We must be pulled by our dreams rather than our memories." And then there is this fabulous framing these works have, out in the open air with blue skies and open water as a backdrop. So follow the breeze and take a stroll to savor this free outdoor exhibition. And here's what I'm looking forward to next week. Boston Ballet leaps into its new season with a program titled My Obsession. It features a staggering duet by Helen Pickett that is a study in love, and Stephen Galloway's Devil's Eyes set to the music by the Rolling Stones, giving the ballet a rocking bounce. That's it for this week in Arts and Culture. I'll see you here and at the Boston Ballet next week.